What's up, boys? Today we're going to be trying out a full minigun build again. I've done several in the past and they varied from between terrible to awful, so maybe the buffs this time have done enough to make it a decent weapon. There is a good amount well, that's a good start. There's a good amount of supporting weapons for the build that the weapon specialist has access to. The Subata can go acid damage plus the sidearm overclock for a huge buff to its damage, as well as some stacking damage against enemies that it hits. The stubby from the engineer is similar but does electrical instead to increase your crit chance. And the buffs in the patch, they buff the damage and the potency of it a bit. So if you convert it into fire, but I think we're going to go for the weapon damage here. And then also they massively reduced the, what is it, the firing arc or something, so that it's easier to aim at specific enemies you want to hit in front of you, but then also it can target enemies a bit further to the side, so it has like a wider coverage, but it's also easier to focus down enemies, I think is how it sounds. And the base stats, I believe the reload's fairly slow at 6 seconds, but pretty nice fire rate. So we're going to want to focus on stuff to help that, since I think that's probably the biggest weakness of it starting out. This would give us heavy reload, but I think the Thunderhead would be better for that. And I don't think there's anything super good for that. Let's see what else we got. The Burst Fire does have sidearm. It doesn't really have anything else super useful, but I guess that's fine. There's such an insane number of projectile weapons that you unlock with the weapon specialist. I think more than any other class mod in the game. So it's kind of hard to hit anything specific. And I don't think we really have the damage to pull that off currently, although it sounds very cool. I think I will take the level here if they're pretty close, so that we can get the overclocks going a bit faster. So we're looking for mainly just the sidearm on the burst fire. Buff the damage of all of your weapons, but hurt that one a bit. And then I think the Thunderhead would be good just so he gets access to more heavy reload speed, as well as just being a solid projectile weapon, some early movement speed. It actually does feel relatively easy to clear a path right now, but I guess the instant legendary damage will do that. Got a shell back. Not sure we can really do a lot in that position on him right now. One cute trick is if you can actually follow them after they miss you a bit, you can actually aim frontal weapons at them fairly easily. I'll see if I can show that a little bit better in a second once he stops spraying again. So you sort of run right past him and then follow him for a bit, and you can get a lot of frontal shots off. And if you bait him right into detonators, even better. Nice movements. We definitely want the ammo rig artifact if I can find that for weapon specialists, where you get a ton of fire rate, lose some movement speed, so always nice to have some of that. Let's go ahead and get the overclock here, and I think I'll take the massive stat boost here. Very nice. Even helps out with the reload speed a bit. Fire rates. In fact, we actually need to get the flyer lower now. There's a bit more that I didn't quite explore in the top left. I'm not really thinking there's anything decent there. deep core can go electrical, I think that's about it. Same with the gun platform, although that can also mine for you, which is kind of nice. I think I'm fine with that, to be honest. Also fantastic for triggering the weapon specialist passive. Although I actually don't want to get the lasting tag with grenades or anything, since they won't buff the Leadstorm. I'll take a burst fire, I think. That's a bit more important. We don't have any boxes available, so just drag this out and farm a bit of XP now, I think.
This ain't a picnic, miner. The bugs are all over you.
I'll take another Leadstorm level. It's just fun getting the big early the big overclocks early on. I can't word no good right now for some reason. Big paint job.
All tasks complete. Stage finished. The drop pod is prepped and ready. Get on it before it leaves.
One more sweep for all that XP, and then I'll take a green if it's close enough for that. And I think we do want the big piercing on that. It's at a base of 4, so this is going to massively improve the AoE potential of it. Leadstorm.
Get yourself onto that drop pod. It's about to head out.
Leadstorm, yep.
I'll take this one.
Kinetic damage. That's fine.
Hatches shut. Taking you to stage 2.
Leadstorm, some good global stats. Let's see if we can get either cheaper levels or Leadstorm stuff, I think. Like that. Paint job is nice for boosting the levels. Then we have a bit left over. I think I'll just take this because it's a bit cheaper. Save us some nitra for more Leadstorm.
That's work to be done. Up and at 'em, miner.
So level 16 at the start of stage 2, not bad. That is one thing I kind of have an issue with on the Leadstorm as well, is that the level 18 overclocks just aren't really that interesting, especially when you're trying to maximize the number of shots it does. One of them, the favorites, makes the Leadstorm a lot better but debuffs all your other weapons. And then lead wrapped ammo gives a huge damage boost but lowers both the fire rate and reload. So they both kind of feel bad on weapon specialist who starts with it. And then we do have the Subata. Yes, it will unlock light upgrades. Huh, I could go for the Thunderhead then, but I don't have a ton of gold. Oh well.
Swarm detected. Get ready. They'll be with you shortly.
The overclock at 18 for the Subata is buffed a decent amount, where you fire in both directions. It gives a decent amount of potency and I think fire rate now. So it's a lot better at debuffing if you can get the acid conversion on it as well. I'll take some more XP here pretty early on. And you kind of need that overclock to make it fire in the same direction as the Leadstorm anyways. Right now it's just covering my back.
Here we go. Prepare for impact.
Should've worn a hard hat. Stupid.
Early XP? I guess we'll try it. It's usually pretty underwhelming. Leadstorm? We can get an overclock here. Sidearm, that's the main thing we wanted there. Buff up our Leadstorm even further.
Objective completed. Excellent job. The swarm is heading your way. Load up.
Big fire rate, sure.
I'll take this one. Loot bug looted. Oh, I needed that. You ugly son of a bitch.
Oh yeah, I will be going for the favorite on the Leadstorm, I think. Since we were going all in on that one.
Feels rare. Feels right.
And that'll debuff our other weapons on top of the sidearm on some of them.
Suck on this, you freaking nature. Beat your maker, great.
Decent fire rate, sure.
You don't see these every day.
We can probably drop some rocks on him from that angle, although an elite slasher don't really want to take hits from that actually. Luck. Yeah, I should probably grab that early on.
Rare stuff. Boom, baby. Bring it, backers. You want some more?
More fire rate for the Leadstorm. I think I just got the purple box. Yeah. Let's get some mining speed. We have one scanner, and then level 18, here we come. Favorites. Other weapons lose damage fire rate, but we get a ton for that one.
This one almost makes it too
Then we
easy.
can grab some piercing for
Every
that.
day.
And that brings it up to 87, so yeah, we need some decent reload speed to go with that. And getting the second heavy weapon probably would have been ideal for that, but oh well. Leadstorm. Leadstorm.
See these every day. Think you can kill her, eh? Think you can.
Even more Leadstorm.
Big miner, move it.
Decent piercing.
Epic upgrade. That's a no-brainer.
Stage completed. Onwards to stage 3.
This one makes me wanna be a better
Leadstorm.
dwarf.
I guess those are fine. Some global damage.
Next.
Big paint job. We have the main thing that I wanted on that, and I don't think it has anything else super useful. It can only convert to fire damage, which wouldn't be great here. So we don't really need that, other than getting overclocks. But getting overclocks could help with the reload speed, so
Looks beautiful.
we'll try and get some of those. Cheap fire right there. Sidearm, nice. Hopefully get the acid conversion later on. Some crit damage.
It's a little I'm
Just
feeling
get a bunch of
lucky.
useful gold stuff since we are out of that. And that would be pretty helpful for getting overclocks there.
You know the drill, miner.
Yeah, we'll definitely look for the weapon box plus turbo encabulator multi-tool trifecta, where you add a 5th weapon and then get an insane amount of reload speed and a bit of damage, since that would help a ton with the low reload speed. And it's just fun seeing what you get off the weapon box. Although sometimes it does backfire and give you some upgrades that you don't really want for your builds. That one's kind of close.
It's for me.
To an overclock, I mean there.
Let's get the middle.
Big swarm detected. Lock up and get ready.
One other thing, you should be able to like mine from an angle and still have it sort of fire off to the side now, with the extra targeting on that if you can pull it off. Fire rates.
Work hard.
nitrous scanner. That'll help us get the weapon levels.
Raring to try this out.
And then those are the same. This will work a bit better if we get some damage conversions.
Swarm detected. Get ready. They'll be with you shortly.
Pop the loop. Let's get the middle. I found a gold plane.
And we go like this, I can probably still hit the elite a bit with the Leadstorm.
Well done. You got them all.
One down.
Decent crit chance.
Something epic with this.
The scanner just lit up like a Christmas tree. We got a swarm incoming.
Leadstorm.
Work harder. You're cute with your head.
I'm getting kind of heavy on XP, but highest rarity here.
I've been dreaming of
Burst fire damage. Would be a good spot to get the detonators, or just get them right before they're in range, reload into an overclock. So I'm not sure which of these is better. I guess it would probably depend on your fire rate. If that was massively higher, I guess that would be better. But that has no downside and is just really strong overall.
Running out of bugs. More are on the way.
Bit of pickup to go with all that XP. Like that's just better. But we could go for the highest Leadstorm level possible also.
I'm a better dwarf than yesterday. Really much better. Think you could kill me? Well, think again.
I'll take some crits there.
The bugs are growing stronger.
Yeehaw! This is it. You want some more?
Leadstorm.
I rarely pick one of these.
Careful, they're going blood crazed. Work fast, miner.
Really much better.
You're really pissing off the bugs. They're getting angrier.
Feels rare. Feels right.
Alright, that's probably enough XP for here. They're getting pretty fast.
That one for car.
Drop pod has arrived. Get there before the timer runs out. The drop pod is not going to hang around.
Reload.
Take it. Soy for sun. Bring the pie.
decent global damage.
Stage 3 completed. Remember to mine for minerals as you progress deeper.
Paint job, we can go electrical to make it debuff enemies decently. Grab a bit of HP, proj damage, cheap level. I don't think so. Let's see what else we got. Leadstorm, proj damage. Oh, potency is actually nice. I think I might have skipped one of those, but that'll improve the crit stats on it. And I guess I'll take a paint job there, some fire rates, and I think I'm gonna pass on that actually.
There's work to be done. Up and at 'em, miner.
You want something done right? You gotta do it yourself.
Prepare to fight for your life. The big swarm is approaching. Objective completed.
Leadstorm.
Take this one. Loot box looted.
How are we looking on Leadstorm stats now? 133 a second and 1.76. I'd definitely like to improve that still, since almost a 2-second reload on your main weapon is still quite slow. But everything else looks pretty nice on it. Leadstorm.
We can't send in supplies until you clear out the landing zone. Big swarm detected. Bug 'em and get ready.
Let's clear them out.
Good work. Supply pod inbound.
Nice shot.
Decent overall stats, has a bit of reload speed. I think I'm fine with that.
Feels rare. Feels
Leadstorm. I think there was some gold that I missed towards the middle. Yeah, there we go.
vapor on.
Yeah, we're actually kind of shredding him now when I can chase him with a Leadstorm. Paint job.
Gorgeous gun for a gorgeous war. Go back to hell.
Ooh, great magnet.
Alien. Go.
Potency into, I think, probably have them follow me around.
Bit extra kick in it.
Kind of need the weapon levels and need them on the Subata more. I guess a purple reload's fine. It's actually the best global one we have since I don't have the heavy reload available here.
Drop pod has arrived. Get there before the timer runs out.
Gold will go nicely with the coupons.
I needed that. Got it right between the eyes.
Get yourself onto that drop pod. It's about to head out.
Big piercing, that's fine.
Stage 4 completed. Next stage is the dreadnought. Prepare accordingly.
Over paint job,
Gorgeous dwarf.
global damage. I think I will just take the green upgrades for that since we do want to try and find the acid conversion. So mining paint job is nice for that. That's close enough. I think we can just wait for like fire rate, potency, reload for it.
What else we got?
Like there's a potency, bit more expensive, but only 3 nitra, not a huge deal I think. Okay, no acid, that's a bit unfortunate, so I guess we'll just go for the big stats on it.
Overclock, my favorite type of. Nope. Try again.
Potency, we can finish that now. 100% fire rate for a lot more stacks on it. Decent crit damage. Don't care too much for that now.
This is it. Destroy the cocoons and take out the dreadnought. Good luck, miner.
New buck down. One down.
Objective completed. Excellent job.
Go to hell. Suck on this, you freaking nature. New buck down. Yeah. New buck open.
We got a blocked landing site for the supply pod. Get it cleared out.
Leadstorm.
Better dwarf than yesterday. One down.
Supply pod imminent.
Push.
Ooh, ammo rig, yes. So that brings us up to 199 fire rate a second. Big reload, that's
This
fine.
upgrade's gonna change my life. Yeah. Give me some sugar. That will teach you. This hard thinks it can kill us. Let's prove it wrong.
Alright, not too bad with a Leadstorm. take a level here, I suppose. The funny thing is that it fires so fast, but still has a kind of slow reload speed, that I like try to hit the boss, but then in the time that I'm running from him, it empties the entire clip most of the time. So I might need to get some more movement speed to help with repositioning for that. Or we can just get an absolute ton of reload speed and that would also work. Movement? Sure.
Gotta move on, miner. Drop pod will head out momentarily. Stage 5 done and dusted. Taking you to stage 6.
Give me that.
Movement, crit
I rarely pick
damage,
one of
cheap
these.
level,
Surely next time will be better.
Leadstorm. Don't need levels there anymore.
What else?
Leadstorm.
Surely next time will be better.
Not super important. See what else we
Gonna roll the
got.
dice on this one.
I don't really care now that it can't go to acid. One more
Next.
reroll, no Leadstorm. I'll take some
Yes,
movement
please.
and then I just don't really care that much about those.
Get to work. There's aliens to be killed and gold to be mined.
Let's get the job done. I killed the people, and I'm not so proud of it.
The scanner just lit up like a Christmas tree. We got a swarm incoming.
That will teach him.
Can't drop supplies for you yet. Prep the landing zone for impact.
Dwarf don't die easily.
Nah, that's just not very good.
So me. Take that.
Supply pod prepared to fight for your life. Big swarm is approaching.
I think we can manage that now. The Leadstorm is reloading, which is unfortunate, though. Decent fire rates. We can probably do better with the coupons. By just taking the highest rarity resources we get.
Big swarm detected. Doggerman, get ready.
Yeah, we got the order.
I guess some purple crit's fine.
That's too shabby.
Damage? Yeah, I guess.
Try this out. Yeah, we got the order.
Big Leadstorm, but this is honestly very good for a blue. We're at 12 on the Leadstorm, so that's annoying to pass up, but it's still pretty good. And it has one less artifact in the pool now, also. This has 3 copies, so you can't get that out of the pool, but it's honestly not a bad pick here. If that was acid, I would definitely take it, but I think I'm fine with that for the survivability. Yeah, because I didn't get the acid conversion on that, fire rate and reload speed for it don't really do that much now. But they would have been pretty sick if I did.
Objective completed, Miner. Get to the drop pod.
Let's go for some gold so we can have a bit of that to go with the nitra. I need one more mushroom. I guess that's fine. I don't know if there's anything I really want here. What do those stats look like? 21.8. I think the big fire rate is fine.
Well done, you got them all. Gather up your beard and get onto that drop pod. It's about to leave. Taking you deeper, Miner. Stage 7 coming up next.
Big fire rate, crit damage. The Akimbo upgrade doesn't really do anything. But we'll want the overclock anyways, just in case. Getting some reload and potency on that's fine, bit of survivability.
What else?
Some movement so we can reposition Leadstorm.
I'm feeling lucky.
Fire rates. I guess. I'll do a couple more, try and find some Leadstorm upgrades then.
More options.
Potency's decent there.
Load up and get going, Miner. We have quotas to fulfill.
Danger and darkness. Here we go.
Detected. Get ready. They'll be with you shortly.
That detonator was almost completely hidden over there.
The scanner just lit up like a Christmas tree. We got a swarm incoming.
I die a little inside every time I have to pick up. Shoot it in the face. Put it down.
Nitra scanner, it's kind of late. And it's kind of hard to spend that. That's really tempting. I think with the pretty good mining speed, we still can get decent value out of that, though. I guess.
Legendary. It's my lucky day. Got it right between the eyes.
So the ideal weapon setup, we definitely would have had the Thunderhead in there, and the acid conversion there,
Detected. Get ready. They'll
and
be
then
with you shortly.
probably the stubby. Actually, maybe not. Maybe you just get one light weapon.
I'm not scared of you.
So I think you replace the burst fire with the Thunderhead then, and that's probably the best setup you could do.
We got supplies ready for you. Clear the landing zone of obstacles, please.
But actually seems pretty good now. And they also buffed the potency if you go for the fire conversion, so potential with that as well with how fast it attacks.
LZ cleared. Supplies inbound.
What a shot.
Pickled Nitra. I'm gonna be very slow, but it would be even more insane damage. What's my movement speed at? 51%. 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% 51% So we're going to be under 100, but I can maybe work with that. Minus 20%. Probably some more mining speed for the scanners then.
Objective completed, miner. Get to the drop pod
I
before it heads
kind of
back
want
to
to
orbit.
get that because we're going to leave so much behind with how slow I am.
My lucky day. One down. Alien scum.
Objective completed.
I think I'm going to die if I go for that Nitra. I might have had time, but I'm pretty slow and I'll get a bit more just from the scanners over here.
One down.
Good work, miner. Now to stage 8.
Fire rates. Like, I should probably spend some, but there's only 2 weapons that really scale here, the Leadstorm and the gun platform. Leadstorm, luck.
Feels nothing for me here.
Big fire
Let's try
rates.
again.
I can't re-roll if I take that.
I'm raring to try this out.
And I kind of need to get some more weapon levels.
What
Unfortunate.
else?
Leadstorm.
Cowabunga.
Whatever, we'll finish that off. And that's the one that got some nice stats added on. It's doesn't really help that much now that I don't have a potency effect,
This
but
is
whatever.
gonna change everything. Let me try again.
Leadstorm, fire
I've
rate
been dreaming
there
of
is pretty
something.
good.
Surely next time will be better.
And we can get some piercing, I guess.
Tough choice. Feels rare. Feels right.
You know the drill, miner. Fulfill your objective.
Try and get that nitro pretty low so we can at least clear the entire level and then do some mining with the scanners to bring it back up later on, I think.
Anything with more legs than 2.
Big reload, whatever.
No way! A legendary!
It's still okay for the weapon specialist passive.
See you in hell! You buggy hot!
Prepare to fight for your life. The big swarm is approaching.
Come and get me, you big fucking fuck! Here, have a bullet in the fight! Pop the new one. Let's get them in.
The scavengers lit up like a Christmas tree. We got a swarm incoming.
Take that! Oh. Dwarf, don't die today. Think you can kill me?
Supply pod
Think
prepped.
again.
Clear out the landing zone and triangulate your position so it can land. Prepare to fight for your life. The big swarm is approaching.
Yeah, anything I look at just evaporates now.
Legendary upgrade. How can that? Bloody hell, you're hot to kill.
See ya!
I got it in the mouth.
Here we go. Prepare for impact.
What is hitting me there? What the?
Drop pod has arrived. Get there before the timer runs out. The drop pod is not
no.
going to hang around.
Another nitro scanner? There's some cool stuff we can find here still, but not those. Pay to win is not bad.
I'm gonna do something epic with this.
Oops, my red crates.
Down.
That would be kind of risky. It's actually fairly close. I think I can do that.
Will do. You ugly.
But if it was far away, that would be Sudoku.
Feels rare. Feels right. Roll back the hell. Just what the doctor ordered.
Good work, Miner. Now to stage 9.
Gimme.
Reload, kinetic,
Gonna roll the dice on this
Leadstorm, potency,
I like
reload
it.
are nice for debuffing
Try
there.
again.
Reload's
Lock it
fine,
in.
Leadstorm, fire
This is my
rates,
pick. Show me more. Gimme.
reloads. I think one more reroll. We could take that.
I will. I want another go.
Then nothing really here. I'll dump a little bit more nitro just because.
Perfect dwarf.
This is a simple mining mission. Get it done, Miner.
I think we actually have a chance to make it out alive. Never been better. Boom, baby!
Swarm detected. Get ready. They'll be with you shortly.
I guess.
Rare treat. Dwarf, don't die today.
Got a blocked landing site for a supply pod. Get it cleared out, Miner. We got a supply pod launch. Stand clear of the impact zone.
Weapon box, it's kind of late, but we could see what's in it. Breach cutter, that does unlock heavy reload, but it's too late for that to really do anything, unfortunately.
Big swarm is approaching. Prepare to fight for your life.
There's only one shop left to even benefit from that.
I found a gold play.
We also could have gotten more electricity stacks with that. It has the burning one by default, which is useless to me. Reload for the gun platform's fine.
Sorry, little bug. Your own
Need to really focus mushrooms because these guys are just gonna fall over when I look at them. Or even when I don't, I guess.
Got it in the mouth. Take that.
All tasks complete. Stage finished. The drop pod is
I
ready.
probably can't get that magnet now. That's right, I'm pretty slow. And we get even slower, so this would have been good to have throughout the run. I might be fine with that. But we also have the coupon, so I'll go gold here.
Upgrade. How can I not?
Is that magnet anywhere near me now? Yes, but I can't reach it with how slow I am.
The time is not great.
That elite never stood a chance. I will see to it there is a beer on the house when you make it back. If you make it back.
Fire
I rarely
rates.
pick one of Nope. Try again.
Heavy
It's for
reload's
me.
good.
More options.
Damage, I don't really care. Movement is kind of
That's the
nice.
one. What else
So
we
we can
got?
reposition. These are terrible Leadstorm at
rare.
least.
Feels next.
Leadstorm,
Now, this is a
Leadstorm.
rare treat. Show me more.
No.
Gonna roll the dice on this one.
Leadstorm, some fire
Power of
rates.
my kin courses through me.
Can't really buy anything with that now. I'll just hold a bit for the pickled nitra.
This is the big one, Miner. Find and destroy the cocoons and take out that dreadnought.
So level 45 at the start, down to 1.15 reload time.
This is gonna be a
344 fire rate a second.
You're cute. You're dead. Loot box looted.
Leadstorm.
Raring to try this out. Roll back the hell. The door is off the break. Feel much better now.
I should do some rerolls now if there's nothing that I really want, just to buff up the pay to win a little bit anyways.
Just what the fuck. Take that!
Supply pod trapped and ready, miner. We need you to clean up the landing zone.
Then what for Carl? Never felt
LZ
better.
ready. Resupply inbound.
Turbo encabulator, that would help us with the reload speed a bit. Let's see, I have all three on those four, so that would be, I think 12 plus 13. So 39-ish% on both of those versus 20. Yeah, that'll definitely be a lot bigger. Oh, he's out. And I probably can't dodge his hits now, but he's already dead. See ya.
Completed. Dreadnought threat eliminated.
Alright, the Leadstorm kind of shreds now, especially at level 46 with an early legendary. And like I said, you can definitely optimize the weapons a bit more. I think the Thunderhead is definitely one of the best ones to pick up. The Stubby can also be very nice since it has both sidearm and an electrical damage type, so you get the stacking effect without needing an overclock for it. So final stats, 1058% damage with the Pickled Nitra plus some scanners. Bit of extra from the Turbo Encabulator and the Pay to Win. Got some nice extra piercing and fire rates. Level 47 Leadstorm, 2.6 thousand damage, 355 times a second, 24 piercing. I do really like having the high caliber if you're going to be using it as a main weapon, just so that it can always hit whatever you want. And the favorite, of course, is fantastic when you're focusing one weapon, gas rerouting, bunch of stats. Then we had some weapons mainly for sidearm. Burst fire isn't the best, but I didn't really feel like re-rolling a ton here. The gun platform was pretty nice for a lot of electrical stacks. Really fits the weapon specialist with tons of bullets per second, huge fire rate. Suppada has sidearm, unfortunately missed the acid, but you can get some very nice utility if you get those two basic overclocks, and then Akimbo will buff that up a bunch with fire rate and potency. Breach Cutter honestly would have been pretty good early on for some extra heavy reload speed, but didn't really do a ton at that point in the game.
We're pulling you out. Get on back home, miner.
We actually had the Leadstorm do the most damage for once. I think that's the first time I've ever had that happen. It's actually not bad, considering it's not firing a lot of the time when you're mining. I can definitely optimize that a bit more by sort of peeking out the side of the minerals. With the improved firing range, you can actually pretty easily hit stuff around them now. So I definitely could have played that a bit better, but it was the number one still. So not too bad there. I'm not sure on the weapon specialist passive. Most of that damage would have been electrical since it was at level 6. So mainly 75 million there, maybe 5 million from that before the conversion. So like 87 million. So probably 23 million or so from the weapon specialist passive. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.